pretty convinced that moms, they run the world. That's right, Beyonce. I hear you, girl. I hear you. Okay, listen, every mom is different though, right? Every mom has different gifts, different struggles, different circumstances. But I am convinced that every mom in the history of ever has wrestled with an idea of your identity. So let's talk about 4 important truths to remember when motherhood feels like it is taking over your entire life, because we have all been there if you are a mom. All right, first, I have to pass along the best advice that I ever received about balancing motherhood and marriage. When we were pregnant with our first, it was I that was obviously physically pregnant. And I remember someone told us, they're like, just look at it like your kids are entering your world, not the other way around. And I thought that's really good advice. Now, I will say that won't feel true 24/7 by any means, but it was kind of this good filter, at least for Winston and I, to make decisions out of, because I think it forced us to prioritize things that really made us us and prioritize our marriage and what, causes us to thrive as individuals in a healthy marriage. And as this baby enters that, like not forgetting those things, right? And people always say, like, don't lose yourself, if you will, when you have kids, if like your only fulfillment is your kids. And I get that, but also our kids are a big part of our lives. It is like your heart is out there. And so there is this tendency, obviously, as a mom, that you're like, I want to take care and do what I need to do to help this little one grow. And that's part of stewarding parenting, right? Like I am here to manage this little human on earth, and it is my responsibility to allow to, show them how the world works so that they can be a healthy, functioning adult. And kids, listen, they are learning, they are growing, they're going to disappoint you, they're going to make you laugh, they're going to do all the things. But there is something to say that, like, you as an individual, as a woman, you bring something to the world and to your family that is you. And there's something beautiful in that, and not losing that, right? And finding this fulfillment in other relationships that are alongside you. And I would even put marriage in that. But having this like healthy outlook of you are the individual that has chosen to have this marriage maybe, or to have children, and not forgetting her. It's really, really important. Now, another truth that is important to remember is that every mom is different, okay? There are some moms that are extroverts, some moms that are homebodies, some moms that are comfortable letting their kids explore. There's going to be more cautious moms. Like, you're going to find your natural bent as a mom, and that is okay. And this is where comparison can creep in, and it is terrible, y'all. It's terrible. Do not compare yourself to other people. And I found myself being like, I have to be on the go, because I'm a natural on the go person. So I'm like, I like to be busy and do things. And I remember with Amelia, I was like, we are not stopping our social life. And little Amelia got toted around everywhere, y'all. We kept a pack and play, like literally in the trunk of our car. And we would still go to friends' houses and pop that up in a closet. And life was great. I was like, we can do this. And it was fine. But then we had 2 babies, and it was like, all right, this makes it a little bit more difficult. And then 3, you're like, we're just home for the rest of our lives. Is what it feels like after the 3rd one came. But there was something about knowing who I was, what gives me life, and figuring out kind of like what works around that. And so there's something about that I think is beautiful. But don't compare what you're doing with someone else, because other moms, they have other giftings. What they are good at, what they get out of life is so different than you. And that is okay. So I'm always on the team of no judgment. No judgment. Like, you do you, girl. That is great. Whatever you can do it. Now, one thing I do recommend for all parents to get serious about is cleaning up your personal info online. And this is why I love and use Delete Me. Because if you do not remove your personal data from the internet, it's basically like a billboard with your name, your address, your email, even your kids' names are out there. And sketchy data brokers go out there and they collect your data, then they sell it, and that puts you at risk for scams and fraud. But the good news is that Delete Me removes your data and helps protect you from phishing, harassment, and other online threats. Winston and I use Delete Me, and we love it because it saves us so much time and worry. So you guys, your family's safety and financial security are way too important to leave exposed. So sign up for Delete Me and take control. Go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off, bringing your monthly cost to under $9 a month. Click the link in the description. You get all the details there. All right, number 3 is to remember that every season of motherhood is different. There are some seasons that are just going to require way more of your attention because you don't want your kid to choke on applesauce, right? And like when they are little, it is like so hands on deck, like more than you even realize. If you're in that season, like you're doing more than you probably even think you're doing. And we're like, I'm good. You're doing a lot. Like, just remember that it is a lot. And then when you're in a season, which is what we have moved into, is like they're self-sufficient. And it's amazing. Like they like make their own cereal in the morning. Like there's just stuff that they can do. Just a few weekends ago, it was like a really rainy Saturday and I was in bed reading a book and all the kids, they were playing out there, making forts and doing what they're doing in and out, and we're just, having our Saturday. And I looked up and I was like, oh, I've like been in my bed for 2 hours. Like my children are out there. But I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Because the season of life I'm in, I can do that. And they're going to survive out there. Like they're okay. Because it's just an incredible thing where I used to have to feed them like every single meal and monitor every single thing. Like even when they went to the bathroom, they needed my assistance. Like there was so much hands-on stuff. And now that I'm entering this new season, it's insane. I can't even imagine having teenagers where they're like not even in the house much anymore, right? So this season I'm in, I'm like, oh, this looks so different. And it's actually a really beautiful thing. So remember that. You've paid your dues, moms. You're okay. You are okay. All right, number 4 is to never stop investing in yourself. And we hear this a lot, and it is true that mothers are very selfless. Like we give so much of us away, and it is a beautiful thing. And I think there is that level of motherhood that does require a level of sacrifice, and it's great. But I will say, being so selfless and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, when it's negatively affecting you, you have to realize that like a red flag may need to be raised. I have found so much of like, understanding yourself and taking care of you is not a selfish thing. Like there is something beautiful about that, but it has a means to an end. You're doing that so that you can be full in life to then go and give, right? Whether it's relationships or your kids or your marriage, like whatever that looks like. And so there is like a lot of talk about like self-help and all this, which I think is beautiful and actually really great. Getting yourself to a healthy spot in your life is really, really important so that you can be able to go and serve and to give and live a fulfilled life. And so don't drain yourself completely. If you don't have anything in your cup, there's nothing that you can pour out to other people. And so remember to fill your cup, whatever that looks like. And it may look different season to season, but always remember that. Recently, there was a viral audio clip on Instagram that said the number one indicator for whether children grow up to thrive is the quality of their mother's happiness. I think that's beautiful. Like there is something to be said when you are serving others out of the outpour of joy that is in you. That is a beautiful thing. So remember that. Serve out of abundance of yourself, not out of this like scarcity where you're running yourself ragged. So remember, and the self-help stuff, like do what you got to do, but like really deeply take care of yourself. Sit in silence, have some solitude where you can. If you have the means and the time, like go to therapy. It's a beautiful thing. Sit with a spiritual sense of like being aware of God. Like there are things that you can do that really don't cost much. Therapy does, but everything else doesn't that I just mentioned. But like pedicures, manicures, bubble baths, like all that's fine. But like genuinely take care of your soul, moms. Take care of your soul. All right, there's so much noise though out there about like parenting the right way. And so I never want to like be that person that's like, this is how you should do it. But I do have an interesting take on being the classroom parent versus the Venmo parent, because there's a discussion about that online right now. So if you want to hear my thoughts, click here to watch that. Or if you're listening on podcast, click the link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.